Both of them got their revenge, but at what cost? This is a story about an action-adventure survival horror game called The Last of Us Part 2. The game takes place not long after the events of the first game, where Joel chose Ellie's life over the future of mankind. Both of them went back to the settlement in Jackson County and live as a part of this group. For quite some times, it seems that they are doing pretty good for the end of the world. They decided to be done with this whole damn thing. All the survivors left in this world are trying their best to keep what they have built and protect everyone they love. Considering that the infected are not the scariest thing out there, their struggle has become more difficult than ever. The story began with Joel, when he is confessing to his brother, Tommy, about what happened at St. Mary Hospital. Ellie, who had become immune from the Cordyceps Brain Infection that has turned the world population into zombies, was supposed to become the key for making a vaccine. But by doing so, Ellie's life had to be sacrificed. Joel then decided to save Ellie's life and brought her back to Jackson County. Tommy was so surprised to hear about Joel's confession, but he's still trying to accept his brother's decision. Both of them decided to keep that secret between themselves. At this point, Ellie is still clueless about what actually happened. She believed it when Joel told her that her immunity is no use for making a vaccine. Their relationship continues to grow closer. They feel like a father and daughter more than ever. For a moment, they know what it feels like to be at home, something that they haven't felt in a long time. The story then skipped for 4 years in the future, where 19-year-old Ellie is woken up from her bed. Her friend Jessie came by her house to get her ready for patrol's duty. In this scene, we see that they have built themselves quite some community in this place. Everyone had their own jobs and duty to keep this place running. And for today, Ellie and Jessie's ex-girlfriend turned into Ellie's special friend, Dina, are two of the people that were sent on patrol duty. During this moment, we see that Ellie and Dina actually have something going on between them. They then turn this patrol duty into a zombie apocalypse-style date. The game then introduces us with a new character that becomes another main protagonist of this game. One of her friends take her for a walk to show her something. That's when they found out about Tommy's place in Jackson. At this point, we still don't know anything about what they're planning to do, but it seems that their group are looking for a particular man that they believe might live in there. The man said that it's too dangerous to go in there, since the place is big and there are many people lives in there. But the girl still insisted to go, and ended up going alone. On her way, she was attacked by a horde of infected. But luckily, she was saved by 2 men, and those men happened to be Joel and Tommy. They introduced themselves to her. She then introduces herself as Abby to them. The 3 of them seems to be outnumbered by the horde of infected that are coming after them. Abby suggests them to go to the place where her group had stayed, to run off the infected. The scene cuts into Ellie's perspective. Ellie and Dina had to stay inside a house and warm themselves up during the patrol, since there's a blizzard outside. Jessie then suddenly came up to them, telling them that Joel and Tommy haven't showed up for an hour. The 3 of them decided to split up, in hoping to find Joel and Tommy. Back to Abby's perspective, the 3 of them managed to run off the infected, and made it back to the place where Abby and her group had stayed. Joel and Tommy didn't see anything suspicious about this group, so they introduced their name to them. But when Joel said his name, everyone in the room started to act like they have heard of them. It turns out that they really have. Abby then shoots Joel's leg, and the others knock Tommy out. Abby then decided to not give Joel a quick death. She picked up one of the golf clubs that she found in the room and started to brutally beating Joel. Moments later, Ellie found a place where Joel and Tommy might be in. She manages to sneak in the building, but when she found Joel and Tommy, it's already too late. Ellie got herself pinned down when she enters the room, while Joel is already dying after being tortured by Abby. In this moment, Ellie can only beg for Joel's life. But Ellie had to see him dead in front of her eyes. The group began to flee from the building before the whole town are after them. They also decided to spare Ellie's and Tommy's life. Both of them are able to get back to town safely after being rescued by Jessie and Dina. Moments later, Tommy visited Ellie's house to get her checked. As you could probably guess, Ellie is planning to go after the people that killed Joel. Ellie wanted Tommy and some people from town to track them down. The only information they have is that those people might be from Washington Liberation Front in Seattle. But it seems that Tommy can't risk himself and his men to do such a dangerous journey. Even so, Ellie still decided to go get her revenge alone. The next morning, Dina came to visit Ellie in Joel's grave. Dina decided to go together with Ellie on her journey. But then, it turns out that Tommy had left a letter for his wife. Tommy can't just let go about what happened. He wanted to bring these people to justice. He left the camp alone to go to Seattle, but he wanted Maria to not let Ellie come after him. Maria is worried that her husband won't make it out alive, so she decided to let Ellie and Dina to set off to Seattle in hoping to hunt down the people who were responsible for Joel's death. Not long after, they found an interrogation scene that were left by Tommy. That scene gives them a lead on where they might have headed. But unfortunately, Ellie was captured by one of the people in the room where Joel was tortured. Luckily, Dina came to rescue her. The two of them managed to get another lead from them before escaping from that building. Ellie and Dina then decided to look for a safe place to lay low for a while. On their way, they were ambushed by infected. That's when Dina finds out that Ellie is immune since she doesn't need a mask to breathe the spore gas. The two of them managed to outrun the infected and find a safe place. That's when Dina revealed that she is pregnant. Ellie looks upset, not because she thinks the child was hers, since that's impossible, and the child was obviously Jesse's, but more importantly, she's upset that Dina didn't tell her earlier. Ellie even went as far as calling Dina a burden, and of course she feels bad afterwards. She also feels bad at how the world has become such a dangerous place for everyone, since they are not immune like her. The scene then cuts into a flashback 3 years earlier where Ellie and Joel were on a mission. She found out how desperate people are when they were bitten by infected since they are not immune, while Joel has told her that there are many other people out there that are immune. Ellie started to sense that everything Joel said is BS. But Joel is still trying to convince Ellie that there is indeed no cure. Back to present day, Ellie found another clue on Abby's location, which is in Seattle Aquarium. Ellie also found out a little about what might be the reason these people went all the way to Jackson to kill Joel. In the flashback 2 years ago, it is revealed that Ellie had gone out of her way to find the truth about what happened in St. Mary Hospital. She found a recording that says the doctor who were able to make a vaccine is dead. Ellie threatened Joel that if he lied to her one more time, she won't come back to Jackson. Joel then revealed that in making the vaccine, Ellie would be dead. So he stopped them. Ellie was shocked in hearing this truth. She decided to went back to Jackson, but she never wanted to talk to Joel again. Back to present day, Ellie continues her search for Abby. After fighting off the infected and people, Ellie finally made it to the aquarium. In that place, Ellie found one of the man and woman who were in the room where Joel was killed. Ellie forced them to point out where's Abby going next on the map. But when the man attacks her, Ellie had to shoot both of them, leaving her with no clue. Ellie was surprised to find out that the woman she's just killed is actually pregnant. She started to have a panic attack. But soon after, Tommy and Jesse came for Ellie and brought her to their safe place. Desperate on having no leads on Abby, the three of them are surprised that Abby suddenly found them. Jesse is shot dead in the head, and Tommy is held on gunpoint by Abby. Ellie then drops her gun, begging her to let Tommy go. She stated that she knew why they killed Joel. Ellie is the reason why Joel did what he did, so she thinks that she's the one responsible for this situation. The scene then cuts into Abby's flashback. It turns out that Abby's dad worked for Fireflies as a doctor. He was told that the immune girl has made it to St. Mary Hospital. After they ran some tests on Ellie, Abby's dad revealed that the operation for making a vaccine would take her life. Marlene, as the leader of Fireflies, and as someone who had taken care of Ellie since she was a child, was hesitant at first, but she still agreed to it since there's no other choice. But then, obviously, we know that Abby's dad, as the doctor who was supposed to do the operation, was killed by none other than Joel. That's why Abby wanted to get her revenge on Joel after killing her dad. After the incident, Abby and some of the Fireflies from Salt Lake City decided to join the Washington Liberation Front. During her days with WLF, Abby has gotten closer to Owen, but everything that she cared about is revenge. This is also the time where Owen and her found the abandoned Seattle Aquarium that would become their own hideout. In WLF, Abby gets all the help that she needs to track down Joel, although they sort of found him by accident. After Joel's death, the WLF is currently at war with a religious cult group called Seraphite, or Scars, to gain control of Seattle. The leader of WLF, Isaac, informs Abby that Owen had betrayed the WLF. Abby wanted to make sure that Owen actually betrayed the WLF, so she went out of her way to find Owen on the Seraphite Island. On the island, Abby is captured by the Scars and about to be executed. But another woman named Yara had also been captured by the Scars. Yara herself is actually a member of this cult, but it seems that she made a mistake. The Scars then started to torture Yara by smashing her arm with a hammer, but luckily, the two of them are rescued by Yara's brother, Lev. The three of them managed to escape and found a safe house. Abby then decided to leave them for a while to find Owen. After meeting him, Owen revealed that he actually betrayed WLF because he doesn't want to be part of them anymore. He heard a rumor that the former Fireflies crew had been regrouping in Santa Barbara, so Owen has decided to set off to Santa Barbara to rejoin the Fireflies, while Abby wanted him to go back. The two of them had an argument, but ended up smashing. The next day, Abby wants to bring Yara and Lev back to the aquarium. She's asking Mel's help to treat Yara's arm that has gotten worse. In the end, Mel has to amputate her arm to save her life. Abby then finds out that Mel also decided to come with Owen to Santa Barbara. They also invited Yara and Lev to come with them, but Lev doesn't want to leave Seattle. Yara then tells Abby about their past. Lev was actually a girl named Lily that acted like a boy because she doesn't feel like a girl. Their mom and Scars were definitely not cool with it, but Lev still cares about his mom. That's why when Lev finds out that the WLF is about to storm the island, Lev rushes back to the island to save his mother. Abby and Yara are trying to catch up to him as fast as possible. On their way, Abby is attacked by Tommy that has been tracking her down. But Abby still manages to escape after she threw him into the water. Moments later, both of them made it to Lev's mom's house, only to find out that she was accidentally killed during the argument with Lev before. Lev feels extremely guilty for killing her mother, but Yara still needs to convince him to get off the island. On their way out, they were stopped by Isaac and his troops. Abby is trying to convince Isaac to let them go, since they're not a Scars anymore. Isaac also won't hesitate to shoot Abby if she's getting in the way. Yara then sacrifices herself so that Abby and Lev had a chance to escape. After Abby and Lev have made it back to the aquarium, they were surprised to find out that Owen, Mel, and their child had been killed. Conveniently, Abby found Ellie's map that she dropped earlier, revealing the location of their hideout. Lev and the enraged Abby then rushed their way to Ellie's place. Jesse ended up getting shot dead in the head, while Tommy got shot on his face. Abby starts to chase Ellie to prevent her from escaping. When Abby got her, she absolutely destroys Ellie in a fight. Soon after, Dina comes to rescue Ellie, but of course Abby destroys her too. When Abby is about to kill Dina, Ellie tells her that Dina is pregnant. Abby doesn't care at first, but Lev comes to tell her to stop killing more people. Abby decides to not let revenge consume her, and just let them go. Few months later, Abby and Dina live together to raise Dina's and Jesse's child. For a moment, it seems like Ellie has already moved on from Joel's incident and decides to live a normal life with a family that she has now. But Ellie keeps getting a nightmare about the day when Joel was killed. Ellie realizes that she just couldn't let this go. Moments later, Tommy, who had survived Abby's rage, comes to visit their house. He also comes to tell Ellie that he found an information that Abby might be heading to Santa Barbara. Since Tommy has become limp, he suggests her to go and finish the whole thing. Dina is definitely against the idea of Ellie hunting down the person that nearly killed them last time, but deep down, Ellie knows that she just can't let Abby get away with this. The next day, Ellie decides to head out to Santa Barbara to end this once and for all. Dina is trying to stop her, but Ellie's will to kill Abby is stronger. From Abby's perspective, her and Lev are trying to find the Fireflies' new home base. But on their way, they are ambushed by a military gang from Santa Barbara, called the Rattler. And it seems that both of them can't actually save themselves this time. Few times later, Ellie then arrives in Santa Barbara. But soon after, she walks into a trap that were set by the Rattlers. When Rattlers come out, they are about to feed Ellie to the infected, but Ellie uses this chance to kill them and get out of the trap. Ellie then began to ask one of them about Abby. While he was dying, he tells her where they have kept Abby, since he thinks that Ellie is about to turn into an infected after he sees the bite mark. But little did he know that Ellie is immune. When Ellie arrives, she finds out that Abby is dying and helpless. She kinda feels bad if she kills Abby like this. She then decides to take her ego aside and cut her free. Abby then brings Lev to find a boat in the beach. Ellie follows both of them while being confused on what she should do. When Abby and Lev are about to sail off, Ellie challenges her in a fight to death. Abby obviously doesn't want to fight Ellie this time, but Ellie threatens to kill Lev if she doesn't want to fight. And then, both of them get in a fight with every intention to kill each other. Ellie seems to get the advantage in this fight. In the end, she has the chance to kill Abby, but her memory about Joel that pops out in her head has softened her. She finally decides to let them go anyway. Few moments later, Ellie is finally back home, but she finds out that Dina had left their house with her son. Now we realize that both Abby and Ellie have lost their friends, family, and people they care about, while they were on their quest of revenge. The scene then cuts into a flashback on that night before Joel's death. Ellie and Joel are having their usual father and daughter chat on a balcony during a party. For any topic that they talked about, Ellie just can't ignore about what he did in the hospital. Ellie thinks that her life would have mattered, but Joel took that from her. Joel then replied that if Lord somehow gave him another chance at that moment, he would do it all over again. Ellie doesn't think that she would be able to forgive him for that, but she would like to try. After their chat is over, the story of The Last of Us Part 2 has come to an end. I hope you enjoy the video. Leave a like and comment, follow my Instagram and TikTok on the link on description box below. And don't forget to subscribe for more video game recaps.